Hi, Alexander. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Learn Norwegian with the NLS Norwegian Language School. Moving to a new country or spending an extended period abroad can be both exciting and challenging. Along with learning the language, adapting to local customs and social norms is crucial to ensuring a smooth experience. Norway, a country known for its natural beauty and progressive social structure, is no exception. While many aspects of Norwegian culture are written into laws and regulations, there are also many unwritten social rules that guide everyday life. These norms are not always immediately obvious to foreigners, but they are key to fitting in and avoiding awkward situations. In our discussion today, we will take a deep dive into the unwritten rules of Norwegian society. Understanding these will help you not only navigate social situations with more ease, but also integrate better into Norwegian culture. Norwegians place a high value on personal space. This means maintaining a certain physical distance when interacting with others. Whether you're standing in the line at the grocery store, riding public transportation, or having a conversation. While in some cultures, standing close to someone may signify familiarity or warmth, in Norway it can be perceived as intrusive. For example, when queuing at a store or waiting for a bus, make sure to leave a comfortable amount of space between you and the person in front of you. The same goes for public transportation. If there are empty seats available, it's customary to sit away from strangers rather than directly next to them. Physical proximity, especially with people you don't know well, is something to avoid unless it is necessary due to crowded conditions. This respect for personal space is part of a broader cultural emphasis on individual privacy. Norwegians appreciate having their own bubble both in public and in private life. Avoid prying into personal matters unless invited to do so, and understand that this is not a sign of coldness, but rather respect for boundaries. In many cultures, silence in conversation can be seen as awkward or uncomfortable. But in Norway, silence is often appreciated and respected. Norwegians are generally not fond of unnecessary small talk, especially with strangers. They tend to prefer meaningful conversation or comfortable, quiet, rather than filling every pause with chatter. This is especially true in public spaces such as buses, trains, and waiting rooms, where people keep their conversation to a minimum. On public transportation, for instance, it's common for people to sit quietly, reading a book or looking out the window, looking at a cell phone, rather than engaging in conversation with those around them. Speaking loudly or drawing attention to yourself in these settings is generally um, frowned upon. Norwegians highly value peace and quiet, so it's best to match the atmosphere by keeping your voice low or refraining from talking altogether if it's unnecessary. In conversations with Norwegians, don't be alarmed if there are pauses or moments of silence. These are often moments of reflection or simply part of the natural flow of interaction. Silence does not signify discomfort, but rather a respect for thoughtfulness and the mutual space between speakers. In Norway, being on time is not just a matter of practicality, it's a matter of respect. Whether you're attending a business meeting, a social gathering, or even a casual coffee with friends, it's expected that you will arrive at the agreed upon time. In professional settings, punctuality is even more important. Arriving late, even by just a few minutes, can be interpreted as disrespectful or unprofessional. If you are running late, it's essential to notify the person you're meeting as soon as possible. Sending a quick text message or making a phone call is considered courteous and shows that you respect the other person's time. For social events, Norwegians are generally a bit more lenient, especially for informal gatherings like parties. but it's always safer to arrive on time or just slightly after the designated start time. This cultural emphasis on punctuality is deeply tied to the Norwegian value of efficiency and order. Norwegians appreciate schedules and structure, and respecting others' time is seen as fundamental to maintaining these values. One of the most important concepts in Norwegian culture is janteloven, 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 or the law of jante. This is an unwritten social code that emphasizes modesty, humility, and the collective good over individual success. It discourages boasting about personal achievements or wealth, and it promotes the idea that no one is inherently better than anyone else. The law of Jante is a reflection of the strong sense of equality that pervades Norwegian society. Norwegians value modesty and tend to downplay their own accomplishments, even if they achieve something remarkable. As a result, bragging or drawing attention to your own um, successes is generally frowned upon. Instead, you let your actions speak for themselves. And if someone else acknowledges your achievements, it's polite to accept the praise graciously without making a big deal out of it. This modesty also applies to discussions about wealth and status. Norwegians tend to avoid conversation about how much money they earn or how many material possessions they own. In fact, flaunting wealth and luxury items can be seen as distasteful. In Norway, people are more likely to respect you for your character and contributions to society rather than for your financial success or status. Norwegians have a deep connection to nature, and this is reflected in their cultural concept of friluftsliv, 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 which translates to open air living. Friluftsliv, friluftsliv, friluftsliv is the practice of spending time outdoors, often in nature, as a way of fostering physical and mental well-being. Whether it's hiking, skiing, camping, or simply going for a walk, Norwegians believe in the therapeutic and rejuvenating powers of nature. This connection to the outdoors is ingrained in everyday life. Weekends and holidays are often spent in the mountains, forest, or by the sea, and many Norwegians own cabins known as hytte, where they retreat to enjoy the tranquility of nature. Regardless of the season, outdoor activities are embraced, even in winter, when cross country skiing and ice skating are popular. For foreigners participating in friluftsliv is not only a great way to experience the stunning Norwegian landscape, but also a way to bond with locals. Norwegians love to talk about their outdoor adventures, and joining them on a hike or skiing trip can be a great way to make friends. It also worth noting that in Norway, everyone has the right to access nature thanks to allemannsretten, 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 the right to roam, which allows people to hike and camp on uncultivated land as long as they respect the environment. Norway is one of the most transparent and least corrupt countries in the world, and this is largely due to the strong emphasis on trust and honesty in everyday life. Norwegians expect people to be straightforward and sincere, whether in personal relationships or business dealings. This culture of trust can be seen in various aspects of life, from the way people conduct business to the interaction they have with their neighbors. For example, many shops and services operate on an honor system, trusting customers to scan their own items or pay for services without strict oversight. In personal interactions, it's important to be honest and direct. If you make a commitment, Norwegians will expect you to keep it. On the flip side, they will also appreciate straightforwardness. If you are unable to meet the commitment or if there's a problem that needs addressing. Transparency and openness are highly valued, and avoiding difficult conversations and withholding information is generally seen as a breach of trust. Norway is widely recognized for its commitment to environmental sustainability, and Norwegians take the responsibility seriously in their daily lives. Recycling is a deeply ingrained practice, and most households have designated bins for separating waste. Public spaces are equipped with recycling stations, and it's expected that everyone will sort their trash accordingly. Beyond recycling, Norwegians are also conscious of their carbon footprint. Walking, biking, and using public transportation are the preferred methods of travel, even in urban areas. Electric cars are common, and the country is a world leader in the adoption of green technology. As a foreigner living in or visiting Norway, it's important to be mindful of these environmental expectations. Failing to recycle properly or wasting resources could be seen as disrespectful. Additionally, when spending time outdoors, following the principle of leave no trace is essential. Norwegians take great pride in their natural environment and expect everyone, including visitors, to treat it with the utmost care. One of the unique features of Norwegian culture is allemannsretten, or the right to roam. This law allows everyone to access uncultivated land for recreation, whether it's forests, mountains, or coastal areas, regardless of who owns the land. Allemannsretten gives people the freedom to hike, camp, and explore nature, as long as they do so respectfully. However, with this right comes responsibility. It's important to follow basic rules, such as not disturbing wildlife, avoiding private homes or gardens, and cleaning up after yourself. Norwegians take environmental stewardship seriously, and leaving the landscape as you found it is a key aspect of enjoying nature in Norway. For foreigners, allemannsretten offers an incredible opportunity to experience the country's natural beauty firsthand. Just remember that this right is based on the mutual respect for the environment and others who are enjoying it. Treating nature with care will ensure that this tradition continues to thrive for generations to come. It's also focused on taking shoes off indoors. This custom is rooted in practicality, especially during the long snowy winters when shoes are often wet or muddy. Norwegians take cleanliness seriously, and wearing shoes indoors is considered rude. When visiting someone's home, it's expected that you will take off your shoes at the door. Most homes have a designated area near the entrance for guests to leave their shoes. If you're even ever unsure, simply ask the host whether you should remove your shoes. In most cases, they will expect it, um, especially during the winter months. This tradition also applies to some workplaces and public buildings, particularly in rural areas or during the colder months. Removing your shoes is seen as a sign of respect for the cleanliness of the space and the comfort of those around you. Understanding and respecting these unwritten rules will go a long way toward ensuring a positive experience in Norway. While they may not always be immediately obvious, following these norms shows that you respect Norwegian culture and are willing to adapt to local customs. Whether it's keeping a respectful distance from others, embracing the quiet moments in conversations, or enjoying the great outdoors responsibly, these practices will help you integrate more smoothly into Norwegian society. Unlock a world of opportunity and connect with a rich cultural heritage by learning Norwegian from zero to hero with the NLS Norwegian Language School. Our immersive courses and expert instructors guide you every step of the way, ensuring you become fluent and confident in the language. Do you want to learn more Norwegian? We are now offering one free Norwegian trial class. Sign up for a free trial class by going to our website nls.no/. Norwegian.no, NLS Norwegian.no,